Presentation mode is now enabled.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today to learn more about the online CEI pilot. My name is Sushanah Boston, and I'm a project manager at the Northwest Energy Efficiency Alliance, or NEA for short. We've been around since 1996 through funding provided by Northwest Utilities, who value a regional approach to promoting the development and adoption of energy-efficient products, services, and practices. NEA reached out to partners in our four-state region of Washington, Idaho, Montana, and Oregon for pilot co-hosts, who were first willing to explore potential new customer service offerings, and second, believed they had the type of customer base open to fresh solutions that could include energy as a way to improve and strengthen their practices. If you're here, you probably recognize the co-host that invited you. NEA has extra information posted on our website, but it's your local connection that will be a point person during the upcoming weeks if you're interested in participating. I'll put this contact information up again at the end of the webinar. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted to our website for later review. Our number one objective today is to connect with great candidates to join the pilot. By the end of the webinar, I would like you to know what the pilot is and how it's expected to work. And of course, I hope you'll fill out an application because you think it aligns well with where your business is today and where you'd like it to be in the future. I'll step through the following topics: the why, which is energy efficiency, the what of strategic energy management, the how, which is the online pilot, and the when, which is key dates, timeframes, and details. I'll end well before 1 o'clock so that we can have time for questions. You can submit questions using the dialog box in the lower right of your screen. Let's get started. Why energy efficiency? Only about 60% of energy is actually applied, and conversion losses are included in the cost of end products. But energy is a controllable cost. Managing it reduces those costs that are otherwise handed off to your customers. Fugitive energy also contributes to the deterioration of equipment and fixtures, but you can do something about waste. Energy waste grows through a simple lack of knowledge and accountability to do anything about it. You can think of current as currency. Christopher Russell, in his book, The Industrial Energy Harvest, noted that like currency, energy can be invested, preserved, and positioned to grow a business. If you manage energy efficiently, you add another pivotal element of industrial competitiveness to your operations. When companies do begin to focus on managing energy as a controllable expense, akin to labor and raw materials, recent studies indicate that they do so for two primary reasons. Hedging against rising fuel costs is number one. The Northwest Hydro system has historically meant cheaper fuel prices and a business advantage to locating in the Northwest, but weather patterns, water flow, increased demand, and other factors could influence prices. Not managing for the future adds risk to your bottom line in times that are already unpredictable. Using energy efficiently helps control expenses, increase revenue potential, it helps improve responsiveness to expensive oversights, and it offsets regulatory compliance risk. Energy efficiency aligns with the primary profit motive. Another answer to the question, why energy efficiency, is sustainability. A Pew study from 2010 showed that people consider the words energy efficiency to be neutral or even positive, where other sustainability language is more polarized. Opinions differ on the topic of sustainability, but diverse business indicators view it as the next megatrend, akin to quality and safety. So-called megatrends redefine business as usual and confer advantages to businesses that remain nimble during times of change. These may or may not resonate with you, but here's what we're hearing about why companies pursue sustainability goals. Basically, through competitive advantage, quantification of carbon status, improved product marketing and corporate citizenship, energy efficiency helps quantify green efforts in a positive way. We just saw a few examples of how energy efficiency can benefit manufacturers and a few common motivations for pursuing it, although you likely have your own reasons for sitting in on the conversation today. Now, let's focus on the what of the pilot, or strategic energy management. What is strategic energy management? It's a system of practices that creates reliable and persistent energy savings. The product that we're piloting this year is largely about business practice change and process improvement. It's designed to overcome common barriers so that companies can tap into energy as a bottom line enhancement. It's designed to get things done rather than just explore concepts. The strategic energy management model is similar to the classic Plan, Do, Check, Act model of continuous improvement popularized by Deming, who is responsible for teaching post-war Japan how to build quality products. Quality, Lean, and Six Sigma are some examples of systems that have become embedded in corporate cultures over time. Recently, the system approach has been adopted to manage energy, and there's good reason to believe that it will become equally commonplace in business culture in the upcoming years. From the strategic energy management point of view, there are some common missteps that companies make while managing energy, which the following points illustrate. Shop floor only activities, ad hoc or opportunistic energy projects only, reliance on technology and equipment, dependence on a single person's passion, no active measurement of progress, and low visibility for energy savings. Each of those missteps has a positive corresponding step in the strategic energy management point of view. As its name suggests, and as I mentioned earlier, strategic energy management operates as an integrated plan. It's holistic in its approach, which is why other benefits, such as improved quality and productivity, are often byproducts. Leadership demonstrates organization-wide intent. When activity is driven from the top, no matter how small or large your business is, you know that that's when things get done. Leadership commitment also ensures that resources are available, and also removes any organizational disincentives such as conflicting internal interests. Ongoing innovation, this is the counterpoint to ad hoc activity. It's planned ongoing improvement. You're always getting better and more efficient in operations, and low-hanging fruit doesn't grow back. While significant energy savings opportunities do lay in equipment, and technology always promises to do the work for us, attending to behavior, the human element, is critical for ongoing success. It's human eyes and attention and knowledge and motivation across all areas of your company that create an ongoing success story. Energy work that's vested in the personality and passion of one person is a liability if they transfer or leave. And you don't need a rigid, full-blown team to make it happen, but you can absolutely benefit from broad awareness and investment that stems from clear roles among the many. You can't manage what you don't measure. It's key to know where you start because it defines how far you've come. And communicating the value of energy wealth to the right people in the right way ensures that it's understood and supported. We looked at these classic issues through a management systems perspective to direct our product. We looked at missteps, successful steps, and created what we think are first steps, a practical path to saving energy and money. We put a single key topic into an e-learning module and produced 15 modules that cover the essentials of a strategic energy management system. Each module is about 15 to 20 minutes long and is a chunk of learning, direction, and suggestions. So, that first barrier was moving from shop floor only activity to organizational activity driven from the top down. We underscore leadership commitment throughout the program, but focus information on energy policy and goal setting. To promote ongoing energy harvesting, we target building a database picture that creates a pipeline of energy wealth in the form of smart projects and big energy users or significant energy users. To give energy smart behavior higher visibility, we provide modules and direction for maintenance and operation and on company-wide awareness and support. To move from a single advocate who can leave and take your energy knowledge with them, we put together a module on scaling to embed awareness across your whole company through energy teams. To guide measurement, there are modules to walk you through creating a baseline and monitoring and reporting progress through the creation of key performance indicators. The online pilot for continuous energy improvement is a prescribed path that adds a lot of how-to in order to cut through the vast amounts of information tools out there that can make it a little tricky just to get started. And it's a highly reliable path. I'd like to take a minute here to underscore that we're not piloting these concepts. We've actually deployed CEI over the last 6 years with some outstanding successes. And large regional entities have developed similar offerings that are reaping big rewards for the manufacturers that are implementing them. Those efforts and rewards have been directed to very big industry. CEI was originally deployed via direct consulting around this type of end user. These are the big fish in our northwestern industrial pond. And what we're piloting is not the concepts, which have already been proven to save energy and improve operations. We are piloting a new delivery of these practices and principles. Our markets aren't exclusively full of big fish with huge energy consumption. Online CEI is intended to test the conditions of offering a flexible version of CEI to diverse businesses that make up the volume of manufacturers in the Northwest. Our work has been to see if we can get that proven value into a format that will benefit more businesses in our region with a lower resource investment. So that's where we're coming from. To do this, we focused on two key aspects, the first of which is scalability. The idea is that one important chunk of energy management system know-how is contained in one module, and that by working around the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycles modules, you can put the foundational elements in place and continue around the cycle again, adding more depth to what you've already established or adding additional modules to build greater robustness according to your business's needs. The second approach to improving CEI for diverse small to medium manufacturers is configurability. Company A's needs may be different than Company B's. Company C may explore a different degree of depth than Company D. Not all companies will need the same level of instruction. Although we offer a recommended order and time frame to address configurability, the modules interrelate. They provide enough preface to their related modules that a business can proceed without 100% going in a prescribed order. We also have a few modules that weren't listed earlier that offer extra optional support, like converting to common units, or how to find free help and hire professionals, or how to estimate costs for energy projects. Moving on to the how, an online pilot. We've examined how energy efficiency can benefit industry and why manufacturers pursue it. We've defined strategic energy management as continuous improvement, and we've discussed how we've adapted it. Let's now examine the planned structure of the pilot and the product itself. The structure of the pilot essentially involves some regional utilities, Puget Sound Energy, Snohomish PUD, and WSU's energy program as a regional resource are helping us connect with 10 to 12 each of their customers. And we're hoping to recruit about 25 companies total and work with them in 2 or 3 small groups. Participating companies will have access to a first tier of help online at any time. Online help will document questions, their frequency, and post answers for the whole pilot group to benefit if it's useful. Participating companies will also receive help with specific tasks at designated times via phone calls, emails, or webinar exchange by technical experts in manufacturing systems and management systems. So, Snohomish PUD, WSU, and Puget Sound Energy want their customers to have the best possible experience, and they'll check in online to make sure things are working and offer help when it's applicable. If you can imagine your facility participating in this pilot, a group of employees can access materials online and are part of a small group that progresses together. The online help is designed to be your lifeline on a day-to-day basis. Will help connect power users, it will help connect with power users from time to post answers to more technical questions. And finally, the power users will be directly connected to the small groups to deliver support at specific technical intervention points. A little more on power users. I'm so pleased to offer this level of expertise to you. We want to find out how well the materials function on their own. However, it is a pilot, and a 6-month investment is pretty serious. So to mitigate any risk to you and to make absolutely sure that you have the resources you need to succeed, I've asked Gil, Paul, Kim, and Bill to consult with individual companies during key processes to help you out and document how we can optimize the product in the future. So a very quick introduction. Gil Malloy is a senior energy systems engineer with over 35 years of experience throughout the engineering field. He's provided technical assistance to industrial and institutional clients in the form of conducting or reviewing energy assessments, feasibility studies, and cost-effectiveness analysis. He's contributed material to the DOE and is co-author of Energy Management for Motor-Driven Systems and the Energy Efficient Electric Motor Selection Handbook. Paul Birkeland has been developing energy management systems for corporate and government clients since 2009. He holds bachelor's and master's degrees in engineering and is a certified energy manager. He was among the first individuals in the United States, this is just last year, to be certified as an ISO 50001 auditor, and was among the first individuals nationwide certified under the U.S. Department of Energy Certified Practitioner Energy Management Services Program. Kim Brown is an associate in Internox Northwest office, where she coaches facilities as they implement strategic energy management practices. Kim has helped organizations like NEA and Bonneville Power Administration literally pioneer energy management programs with manufacturers. She has over 10 years of experience in energy and water programs for and on behalf of utilities, municipalities, and manufacturers. Finally, Bill brings to the program over 3 decades of industrial experience, from technical roles held in a wide variety of energy-intensive manufacturing facilities. His past responsibilities include process engineering, project engineering, plant engineering, maintenance direction, and operations management and technical direction. Bill has a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering and is a licensed professional engineer in the state of Washington. In short, we've got some great assets rounded up to help you succeed in energy management. Let's move on to the product materials themselves. Here's an example of what the product looks like. This is just a screen capture. You would spend about 15 to 20 minutes clicking through 15 to 25 slides. The material is narrated, but it has a closed caption feature to accommodate noisy facility floors. The format varies in interactivity and provides information and context that is usually based on a document or tool to direct the actual work. Not all modules have attendant worksheets or materials, but most do. As I mentioned earlier, online CEI is more prescriptive for companies that would like to follow a proven path and after they get solid practical foundation in place, branch out later into all the infinite materials out there online. Here's an example of one of 9 11 by 17 posters that you can print to improve awareness. We're also integrating the classic toolbox talk cards, which are wire-bound flip cards, that contain a lot of Q&A on equipment and manufacturing systems and are designed to regularly get folks thinking about energy use on the shop floor. Online CEI is strategic energy management and therefore takes a holistic approach. So you can also print out an illustrated story and post it on an energy board to keep your non-technical personnel as knowledgeable about what's going on as your technical staff. Finally, here's a look at where you might go to log in and access materials, ask questions, and post insights. It's what your home base will look like. Okay, we're headed towards the finish line, and I see some questions streaming in, so we'll wind down with some preliminary details on the structure of the pilot. So participants will receive unlimited online access, free first-tier help desk assistance, up to 60 hours of consultant services valued at over $8,500 per facility, and what we think is probably the most valuable outcome of the pilot is a self-sustaining system that saves energy and improves productivity and quality. How do you participate? You apply. We'd like to have applications by April 5th because we'd like to begin work on May 1st. If you're really interested but are not sure that you can commit to the pilot and apply by April 15th, talk to your contacts at Puget Sound Energy, Snohomish PUD, or WSU Energy Program. If you are definitely interested but need some wiggle room, communicate that to your contacts to negotiate an application deadline that you can meet. We don't want to miss out on great candidates because you needed an extra few more days. I'll be emailing an application to today's attendees, and applications are available online at nia.org/CEI pilot. Here's an example of the application. It's only 2.5 pages of mostly checkboxes, so it's not too painful. We'd like to have 20 to 25 participating companies, so please fill it out if this sounds like you. If you've had energy on your radar for whatever reason for any amount of time, this is a great opportunity for you to dig in, whether for cost control, sustainability, or energy security. If you've been thinking about it, this is the opportunity for you. If you're interested in a holistic management system approach, maybe you have prior experience with something like Lean or TQM, or maybe you don't. This is a perfect opportunity to try it out and see if it works for you across your whole organization. A willingness to commit some internal labor resources. One of the things that we're trying to find out from the pilot is how long it will take different companies to complete the work associated with the modules to their satisfaction. We estimate that it will be 5, maybe 10 hours on average per month, but we don't know that. And also if you're able to commit to approximately 6 months. Again, we'd like to find out how long it takes different companies to go through the modules and the attendant work to their satisfaction, but we're estimating a minimum of 6 months, so the pilot will go through December of 2012. It's easy to do nothing. Everyone is time constrained and strapped for resources. And you can do nothing, and you can blame costs on rising prices. You can believe that competition also doesn't manage energy costs. You can cut other expenses, or you can pass on cost increases to your customers. But we are trying to make it easy to do something rather than nothing. Something that develops successful energy cost control and leadership. Something that starts small, seeking early victories to build momentum and confidence to tackle larger opportunities. Something that proves that energy efficiency projects can compete with other priorities for your time and money. And something that already has a track record of success. I truly hope you'll consider joining us and reap the varied benefits of managing energy as a controllable expense. Thank you for your time today. let's check out some questions and start a little bit of dialogue. I am here with a colleague, Matt, who's been monitoring some questions.
Yes, we've gotten a couple great questions. One from Chris Love. Can you clarify that participants will not be paying the $8,500?
Ah, yes. Sorry if that wasn't clear to you. NIA, in conjunction with our co-hosts, are paying for the costs of the pilot. So the $8,500 that would be paid to different consultants for their time at structured intervals is coming from us. You do not pay those costs.
Any other questions coming in? I have to answer them.
No other questions. I also want to make one quick clarification. I think I said Gil Malloy, and it's actually Gil McCoy. Subtle typo there for one of our consultants. I apologize, Gil.
And we do have another question from Eileen Helsel. Will participants be required to write a report or provide review or something after participating?
One of the things that we ask in our application form is, are you willing to participate in any case study interviews at the end of the pilot? Because we would like to find out what worked, what didn't, and if you were able to actually manage the implementation of a system. So that is a question that we ask because we do want to be able to interview and find out that information. But it's more about interviewing you and with NIA writing the reports and case studies with your permission. And in all of this activity that we do, that we've previously done with companies, we protect confidential information. So although we're trying to set up an environment where you can share data with consultants, ask questions, etc., whenever we do case studies or reports, we always protect the confidentiality of the companies and data to their level of comfort.
Question from Mick Davis. Our electrical utility is not Puget Sound Energy, but Tacoma Power. We do, however, purchase natural gas from Puget Sound. Will we still be eligible for this program?
Yes, you'll still be eligible for the program. It's likely that you were recruited by Washington State University that serves a very broad range of companies in our area. And typically what we do is connect to your serving utility through Washington State University and make sure that they have the information they need to help you out and that we have the information we need to make sure that you're taken care of. Regarding gas and electricity, the CEI program is fuel neutral. You'll see a lot of examples in there of equipment that deals with therms, and that's one of the reasons we included that support module of conversion, because we like to be able to help people take their propane costs, their natural gas costs, and their electricity costs and put apples to apples so that they can really get a clear picture of it. So I feel pretty confident in saying that you're eligible.
We have a question. What were the results, successes or challenges from previous pilots we have conducted with food processors or pulp mills?
Well, our successes have been actually published, and we have some great case studies online, and if you want to connect with me, I can forward those to you. Some of the earlier obstacles, and one of the reasons we underscore organization-wide executive leadership, whether you're the president or owner of your company or whether you actually are an executive of a department, is that an early first obstacle is that we had people who were really committed and excited about the energy savings they were finding on the shop floor, but they couldn't move resources, they couldn't compete with other priorities. And that's one of the reasons we focus so much on a leadership role that is driven from the top down. We've also published some really nice success stories and presented them at some different conferences for the behavior side of energy and money savings. We do this through a sort of top-down analysis where we take out the nuts and bolts, projects, savings and dollars savings that manufacturers experience, and then we look at what's left over from the baseline. And it's one of the first studies that we're really able to put energy and dollar numbers to behavior change, and that's another reason why we focus on a systems approach that's more holistic as opposed to just some ad hoc energy projects. Of course, you're going to get energy savings from ad hoc project work, but persistence has been proven to be associated with a systems approach. That's kind of what I can think of off the top of my head. If you want to email me, I can point you towards some case studies that you might find more interesting for the larger food processors and larger pulp and paper mills.
And then this is the last question that looks like a clarifying question, and probably a good one to end on. It says, so let me get this straight. This is a program that will save us energy. It's free, and you're guessing only 5 to 10 hours per week for 6 months?
Yes, it's free. Yes, you're getting the paid support, and we don't know how long it's going to take you, but we think it will take between 5 to 10 hours a month. You know, what we need to do from an organizational perspective from Northwest Energy Efficiency Alliance is help accelerate the adoption of some of these great energy and money-saving technologies, practices, and services that we're seeing happen. So it's already happening out there, but as a regional organization funded by utilities, they're saying, what can you do to speed this up? What can you do to add this value more broadly to the region? So we're actually funded to do things like this, to test out this product, to get real-life feedback from manufacturers, to make it better and to offer it more widely, which seems a little counterintuitive. We are a nonprofit. It's what we do. If there are no more questions, then I'll go ahead and wrap up the webinar.
There is one more question.
Okay. Thanks, Matt. What is it?
And it's, how are we going to address demand changes? I'm sorry, demand charges.
Demand charges, in my experience, have typically been connected to some of our larger users that have larger costs when they start up large equipment all at the same time. I'd like to defer that question to perhaps one of our engineers, and I can get you more information on that later if you'd like to contact me directly. But I think that will be part of getting into the early phases of the pilot. If you kind of can think back to some of the modules that I listed, one of the very first ones is get and record energy data. And we actually address some demand charge issues in that module and suggest reaching out to your utility to answer some different questions that you might have, I don't know, potential benefit from. And peak demand and perhaps staggering equipment startups are a few of the things that are suggested. If you need more detail on that, go ahead and email me, and I'll get someone who is a little bit more technically knowledgeable to get you a more technically accurate answer.
What's your email address?
Oh, I took mine off of there. I'm sorry about that. My email address is sboston@nia.org. And for other questions, definitely connect with your co-host utility that solicited you to participate today. And again, my name is Sushanah Boston. I'm a project manager at NIA, and that's sboston@nia.org. Okay, well, I sure appreciate your time. I hope that you'll consider applying for the pilot. I'm very excited to offer this and to get some real feedback from the market so we can make it even better. I will be posting this recorded webinar to the nia.org CEI pilot website. So if you had colleagues that maybe were interested but couldn't sit in today, you can share it with them. And I will be sending out an application form to everyone who registered and sat in today. Thank you so much, and have a great afternoon.